Tani ma Africa mahle, phutani bantu bomgquba. Igama lami ndingusilindile. Uma mpinga umbhala kwaqosha into omntwana ingabe noboya ayifuni bantwana ifuna abadala. Uma wawa ke bethuna. Welcome to Unscrambled Life with Slee. I still want to say this to you guys. I wouldn't be here without you. Don't forget, before we start, click that subscriber, share, and then like, and then you're gonna comment because we're bringing nothing but the best. I have this guy. I've been waiting for him since in January. He's been dodging my bullets, but I understand because he had many projects to work on, and today he decided to reserve his time for me, which I wouldn't take that for granted. Yeah. Ungayithi vu. I don't know why ekhethe leyo nto leyo uJC gebetuna guys, but I'm going to give him an opportunity to introduce himself. Budang.
Yabona njani?
Ngiyafila njani?
Hayi mina ngishapha kakhulu.
Listen man, wena ngisho ngathi uyankolota.
Yeah.
Kunini ngikumele la ekhaya?
Bekumele ngibuye that time, but we had another project going, so but wait, because uzofika ukhuluma into eziro. Let's us go and do this thing straight, then you come back.
So updated.
Because manje uzofika ukuthi sizoshoot video. What if we don't shoot it? So asambe, then you go there, you updated. So my manager is like, so then we had to go to Durban, see some sevens.
And how was the journey though of the video that now is doing wonders?
I would say the whole thing was unpredictable. Yabo, as you had seen, being saying the appointment now at the time, basically, an interview. Yes. And then I got a call. Mama, I think we had a meeting like somewhere, some more level. And then Mang Figalapo, he was like, no, I'm thinking we shoot this video in Devon. I'm like, hey, bruh. We should like because I'm thinking the budget, and stuff. Because I know the cost of going to Durban. The whole team has to go to Durban. Yeah. So apparently, the guy that decided to put the whole thing into work is Vansne, which is from Imbesu Mine and the Imbesu project. It does a lot of things for the community. Yeah. So it wasn't a matter of Fuguti. And he had something for the song. Yes. He just said, I want people to forgive each other. Like I have something. Because I sent him the whole album. Yeah. Then he chose that song specifically. And said, no, people are broken out there. Yeah. And your song says, so let's do it. I'm like, bro, but like, no excuses. Just call your people, we're going to Durban. Yeah, they just go. Everything on hold. At the time, I'm looking at the time, like, okay, at 12, I have to be in this interview. Yes. In this sit down.
But you know what I appreciate? Now we're talking about about something that has happened. Yes. You're giving me a full update.
Exactly, yes.
You understand? Yes. Why ungativu? Ungayitivu.
Ungayitivu, yo lengoma fethi. Lengoma, by the way, angizintroducanga. My name is Cindy Somoyo, JC Rap Addict, or Mr. Ungayitivu, as they call me now. Bangbiza Mr. Ungayitivu.
Hold that breath.
Okay.
Uthe Moyo.
Yeah.
You know my neighbors ngabo Moyo now from your country.
They are
Moyos as well. Okay, I'm gonna introduce yourself. I'm gonna introduce Masugala.
Okay.
Yes. But I got excited because they are good people.
So Ungayitivu is like we live in a society whereby now you see marriages are being broken and stuff, relationships, friendships, everything because of what people say. Yabo, after whatever they saw or whatever happened, they understand. It's about manje mangpuma and you're worried about ubonuba, and maybe somebody sees me with you sitting like this. There's a picture. That picture can come out wrong and say, we saw your husband, so the song was a specific message to say Ungayitivu. Because where we come from, if you remember way back, Abatala, they used to be quiet about things. We only found out 30 years later that this is your brother. Exactly. And a low siswako.
Exactly. And even our parents would hide.
I used to think it's my cousin. Exactly. So I think it's very important. Even though the song comes out in a different way, because it talks about a guy who's at the club and meets a girl and things happen and then says Ungayitivu. And then the guy goes and tells a friend, hey, this is what happened yesterday, but now Ungayitivu. Because when if when Ungayitivu, so kumoshe into ini.
So now, ngifuna ke mina ngulomuntu very interested before your fans.
Yeah.
Igama lakho labazali abakuphala noSindiso.
Yes, Sindiso, that's the name.
And ukhulela eZim.
Yeah, I think a quarter of my life I was in Zim. Then most of the time I came here.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And now this is what I want to understand. You've been here over almost 3 decades now.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah.
It's almost over two decades.
Yeah.
How was it at home? The dynamics. Walk me through the dynamics of Umama Nobabe Kaya and siblings. The structure.
At home, I think it's because I was still young at the time. I wasn't even thinking Zotlabela and stuff. But the situation, I wouldn't say I saw this because this wasn't bad.
Mm.
But when the time comes and Uncle now, we are guide in some way, and I was like, no man, I need to know where my father is. And my father was here.
So your mom was in Zim.
Yeah, and my father was in Zim.
So it's got to send out so is Ekai.
It's Filapusi. Yeah.
Filapusi.
Yes.
And then now you wanted to find your father. Your father was in South Africa.
My father was in South Africa. And at the time I knew go to mama Bela. So I had to lie to my mom and say, everything's under control. Come on, mom,
But you're only 13.
I don't even know how that happened. Like if you take me back then, I don't think I would do that again. I don't even know the nerve that I got to take that step because I was when I look at it now, I'm like, because I'm seeing kids at 13 now. I'm like, at this age, that's when I took this decision. It's very weird, but then that's what I'm talking about. God, it's God, when He comes and then basically I decide to know I'm putting you through this. My mom was still alive at the time, and I was like, Mama, we're going to my dad. Did he? Cause that time being on my phone, like to communicate and verify stuff. So she wasn't able to verify. I'm sorry, Mom. She wasn't able to verify at that time. So I lied to my mom. Actually, everything is okay. That journey.
So how many your mom's sister?
No, I had to do it alone. There was no mom. I just lied, because I wanted to find my.
So you traveled alone?
I traveled alone at 13 years old.
Where did you get money? You got money from your mom?
No, I had the money that my mom had given me to say, Yazin, humble your school fees. At that time, it was like $100. It was too much.
$100, yeah, it was a lot because even now it's 1.8.
Yeah, 1. But it didn't take me much, man, because Messina. So I got stuck for 3 months.
Okay, now it's getting serious. You're lying to your mom that you've arranged with your dad to come to your dad.
Yeah.
And then you told your mother that you had an arrangement with your mamngane.
Yes.
The mamngane is your father's wife.
No, actually, ubamngane. My father's
your father's brother.
Yes.
So now, the $100, it only takes you to Messina.
Yes.
And then you had to stuck in Messina for 3 months.
For 3 months.
You are 13 years old.
13 years old.
And then, who do you know in Messina?
The guy that I was with, that I just met in Karachi, and the guy, I was with him for a few hours and then he left me with some people that I didn't know because the guy I had known him for 24 hours because I had to sleep at some other garage, in my boxing because there was no transport at the time. So I'm in a garage, I saw people sitting there like, it must, it was a tough journey, and going on my box and stuff, so I had to sleep and it was cold. So that guy came and said, "You're still young, what are you doing here?" I had to act tough at the first. I said, "No, Ngisharp, I'm actually waiting for my relative or what." I lied, because I didn't want him to think I'm desperate. But as time went on, he said, I had to be honest. I'm here because of, I don't know where to go. Because I thought, it's just,
it's easy.
It's meters away. Because I saw the lights and everything. I was like, that's the goalie, what they're talking about. And it was just Messina. I didn't know when you get to Messina, you still have to travel.
But now, in my mind, what I'm thinking, you knew where your father was.
I didn't know exactly. I knew it would say goalie. That's what they put it like. Exactly. That, like when I was young, I thought the goalie is just like some, like Soweto.
Okay, yeah. I get it. Like in Jenga, your village, the goalie, it's your village. So, everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the thing is, I bring the phone number, Gabab.
Okay.
But now it was the wrong number. Because, why would you tell a number? It wouldn't make sense to mom. So I had to steal a mom, There was a new phone number that I left behind Then I stole the old one. And then I told him, when I get there, tomorrow I'll be sending you a letter to say, figure safe. Because letters were working at the time. But now, that number again, it's on voicemail.
So you were stuck MSN for 3 months?
For 3 months,
with this guy who
No, that guy left me there, and then I actually stayed with some guys there. I don't, like I said, I keep repeating with God, because it doesn't happen all the time. I didn't sleep in the street. Yes, I did suffer, I had to go out, like looking for food the whole day. Yes, I had to suffer that much. But I had to sleep, at that workshop. It was a workshop sort of. So, being clean and, and cook when they want me to cook. Because the market, next, so they wouldn't have given me much, you understand? Until somebody came and then Wang Tata and then introduced me to this other lady, Wang Tatayo. For a couple of weeks until we got a contact back home, which led us to my father. Yeah,
so now, how did you get the contact? You told this lady, who did you know back home?
Yeah, the ladies took me in. Remember, I was young, so my mind was just, I wasn't thinking straight. So we, imagine I was eating proper food for the first time. That was like after 2 months of suffering. Yeah, so when she took me, imagine I'm having a proper bath. For the first time, I left my comfortable home. The home was still okay at the time. Things were not that bad in the country. Yeah, because that was like 2002-03. So it wasn't that bad. You understand? So I left that comfort zone, feeling like, like something is missing. Like my mom wasn't aware of the things that were happening.
Of course. And she's worried because you promised to send her a letter just a day after.
You know what I'm saying? So I get there. And then that lady was telling the other day, then we're sitting from nowhere, and she said, don't you remember any contact of anybody? Then I remember, we had this other number, basically, because, we used to call each other, next to Gobulawa, not Emakaya. Emakaya, there were no phones, but Gobulawa, there was landlines.
Okay.
So I remember that number. Let's try this number, went to a Celsius container, they must figure, or presser. Yangena.
Yeah, plus the sausage and summer container.
Yeah, Yangena, and they, like they didn't take time, but niggas in number and said, Nancy number ga baba ga sindis. And then she called my father. That's when my father said, immediately, that's my son. Let him come immediately. That's when I had to travel to see my father.
So uma ufike Joburg ufikela kuphi?
No, ngifike ePitori.
Ufikele ePitori so
ePitori. I know ePitori le go ba Garankuwa.
Oh, go Garankuwa. So I'm assuming that your mother and father maybe said level because there was no communication.
Yeah.
Weren't you angry that your father left you for that long that you had to look for him? Or you were just a young kid who needed his father? You didn't care about how they broke up with your mother and why did he leave? I
think, for at that time, I don't know how I don't hold like a lot of grudges in my heart. But I don't usually hold grudges. I might be angry and stuff, but I don't. So at that time, my dad set me down, and he said to me, the same thing that happened. He was very real with me. He was like, boy, angiyeke umshade umfazi ozoyenza naye ingane yakho yokuqala. And that time anginane girlfriend. But he said, I'm telling you now, you are not going to marry the mother of your firstborn. So when you firstborn, I was actually second born.
To your mother.
Yeah, but he was saying the first woman that you love, you fall in love with, is not the one that you're going to marry. And at the time, I'm like, Kulmangan. And it happened, like I do have a son from another, like we know, and now, like I'm married to my wife now, but what he said is what exactly happened. So he said to me, boy, things happen. Wang explained a lot. I told Mawako to sell this and that so she can come. So there was a time when I understood that my dad wasn't that wrong. They played the role together. Yeah, in the whole
for them not to work.
Because when my dad came here and he got a job and stuff, he called my mother and said, because mama was beautiful, So like there was no way my dad wouldn't want my mom like and I said she was like, you understand, she's the queen. So there was no way he could have broken up with such. He had to work because that's why he was because like I said. So I think the situation was my mom maybe didn't want to come this side.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he had to move. He had to move on at some point.
You know what I'm saying? So I understood him.
So how was it? How was it like for you coming to Joburg? The setting, which was different from Zim. Like your first impression when you got here.
It broke my heart. It was painful, because it like more we are figuring, and there's everything nice, but now you're thinking, what did my sisters eat? Because I knew the struggle, So I'm thinking, what did they eat back then? So whatever I was eating, I was thinking, what did they eat? And at the time I can't provide, I can't do anything.
You're only 13.
Because I remember I had a call with my mother, and she asked me some few things. She was like, uzongithumela nini imali yabona ngithenga amaphilisi. At the time that was the last call. Yabo. So she was sick at the time, and I was like, Mama, I couldn't tell her ukuthi angasebenzi. Because but the thing is, back home they used to have that mentality that when you make it to Josie, you're now working. So that's the question she asked me. When are you sending me imali amaphilisi? And at the time I'm thinking, bruh, I'm sitting. I don't have that money. So I couldn't answer that thing and say, Mama, I ain't lie, man. I had to tell her, Mama, don't worry, Mama, I'm going to make it up to you. And, imagine how long it could have took me to make it up to her. So when I came here, everything was great. But I think the painful part of knowing what you left behind.
I know what you mean.
Because when I came here, everybody, it's like everybody just finished. Because the first thing I got was like, so like, what? My sister, how?
Sister, first one come
yeah, got my mom,
first one come mama. Ishona so ungapha.
Sing this side,
And then after then,
that's the same year, Pella. That's 2004.
And your mom follows.
My mom follows.
So ma kushona 2004.
Which month? 2004. At that time, I think it was around September.
My mom passed on 2004 October.
You see, that was painful.
So now you lost your sister and your mother the same year. Yeah. So your sister ushone kuqala and then your mother.
Yeah.
Is there any point where you ucabanga ukuthi your mom washona because of the heartbreak of losing your sister?
Yeah, I think she was going through a lot. I think
and now you're not there.
Yeah, I think maybe you never know. Like, there was a time like maybe if I was there, I would have, because I used to also, I used to work. I was still young. When I look at it now, I'm wondering how I was doing it, because I was going to school, but I used to, when losing home, that was my job, and I would sell firewood in Nkuni, so I'd be like selling firewood and stuff, making some extra cash. So I'm thinking maybe if my mother would have kept it a little bit stronger, if I would have stayed with her, maybe choosing my father's side, could have hurt her also,
What was that thought back then, or you still think
no, that thought comes now, because at that time I was thinking nothing. I wasn't, now when I sit down, because I've got a lot of questions, like, how did this happen? I left my mom back sharp. How did it happen so quick? Because you look at her peers, like they're still alive, they're good, they're strong. Why didn't you hold on? Why were you not that strong? You get a lot of questions and you can't even answer yourself with what really happened, So that's where the music comes from.
I know, that's where I want us to go. And this is what I want to say to you.
Yeah.
We are not responsible for anyone's life.
Yeah, that's true.
Secondly, I want you to start looking at it this way. God prepared you because he knew that he's going to take your mother.
Yeah, it's true.
So he took you away from your mother so that you can start your own life. Because if maybe you were still there and your mom, uNkulunkulu amkhumbule ulaphayana, you would have still been stuck there.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I want you to look at it that way now. We are not responsible of anybody's life, but God wanted to pave your way because he knew that he's going to remember your sister and your mother.
Exactly.
So to have a sense of belonging with your father. Yeah,
yes, I believe that.
That's how I'm perceiving it, and that's what I believe in.
Yeah.
Kube mhlambe manje ugula uvale emakhaya.
Yeah.
Because I think mhlambe if umaye wakhumbula una 14, what else were you gonna do? You're gonna leave school?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And then do what?
There was nothing.
Exactly.
There was nothing.
So please, if you regretting or thinking that maybe you played a role in that, God planned your life this way, and He wanted you to do it this way.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most painful things that I ever faced. You know, like I think it's things that I never dealt with. You know, because I never knew how to deal with it. You know, like you know, you are at a place where there was my stepmother, and she used to say words like, you know, if I say it, I remember when I once said to my mom, you know, me I call her my mom, she's like, that's how I call her, and I had to say to her, hey, as in Lambi, what can we eat today? You know, because, you know, I thought she's like a friend, and that day I don't know what happened. She just said to me, "Hambo vus mama call up a little corn," you know. So yeah, they were married, you know. Okay. They were actually married, and I mean, I just love the whole setup. I never had any problem. Yeah, because yeah, and she kept saying, "Uma cook to me, you know, Ma cook to me, you know." But Mina, I never came for that.
I get what you mean.
Because I never told my dad until he passed on. I never told him how I felt or what was happening.
So your dad passed on as well.
Yeah.
What's your name, Baba?
2013.
10 years later.
Yeah. So
you got 9 years later.
Yeah. So like he never knew what happened to me. Yeah, I couldn't tell him because the last time I told him they had a fight, you know. So I realized, I'm gonna make these people fight. So whenever things happened, I would just keep it to myself because I don't want to see them fight.
Where is the stepmom now?
I don't know. I'll be lying. I had to cut, you know. I had to distance myself and say it's okay.
Because it was toxic.
Yeah, it was very toxic. Because when my dad passed away, I suffered in front of her. And I remember they used to pass me, you know, painting summer flowers in my stop sign. And they'd be passing me, you know, like nothing happened. And I think it never, like I said, I don't even know how I was made. But it never hurt me in that manner. I'm not hurt by those things. I'm not hurt by the fact that somebody didn't care about me. I'm just hurt that, you know, God, like, you understand, like, why didn't you, you know, make me see these things before I come so that I don't force myself into people's lives, you know?
You sound like my son, eh? My son is 19.
Okay.
I worry sometimes,
but
sometimes I understand. He's one of people that I know that he can easily remove himself from people because this thing was instilled in him. People should be in your life willingly, so you don't have to force them. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to do otherwise. They have to be there because they want to be there. And my son is like that. My son will give you a chance once or twice, and then he will do his effort. Should he see that you don't reciprocate, he'll tell you that I'm done. I'm not going to force anyone to be part of my life if they don't want to be here.
Yeah, that's very true. You know, I always look at it. You know, I only realize now how much I suffered. I think that's why it hurts me now than before. Because I've never been hurt like this. Like, I think it hurt me now because...
What do you mean when you say now? Like, as we're talking about it?
No, like, as in, like, when I grew up, I started, you know, like, when... Okay, I said, man, now that I have Mundi and Wam.
Yes.
That's when I look back and say, I did suffer, you know? Because when I was suffering, I never realized I was suffering.
I thought you were,
you know, when they send me to my shop, like, I'm a shop, then you come back, then they say, hey, I forgot to sing, or then you go back, hey, I forgot. I thought it was normal because that's how I was raised. But they did it intentionally. Like, you know, I see me as I'm up and down, you know. And you look at it like, so that's what they did. You understand what I'm saying? I did that because where I come from, they taught me to listen.
And you need to be patient. You
understand what I'm saying? So, because back home, we used to walk kilometers to the shops. So when I come here, you send me to a shop around the corner. Would it hurt me?
No.
So on my side, I didn't see that. But on their side, they're like, yeah, we got him. Because my sisters, you know, I have stepsisters, and my sisters, whenever they were sent to a shop, next Monday. You know, and that's the life. That's
were
like
they
we would
older
go
than
to the
you?
grooves.
Were they older than you?
They were older than me.
Okay.
So they would go to the grooves whenever they give him my lesson or whatever. A time, night 200, a time was be next week. That was normal.
Your father was still alive.
My father was still alive. I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think we got to a point where we spoke about it, and he said to me, because there was a time when he sent me somewhere to stay, and I had to run away because my stepmother called me and said, "We miss you."
Because he didn't have anybody to.
My father was planning on divorce at the time, and I mean, I didn't know.
So she was using you as a pawn, like even at Yaktanda, so that your dad can be sold.
So I came back running. And when I came there, Ubaba gave, I'm like, oh, he's dead. I know he's coming now. So she called Ubaba and said, your son is here. Where are you? So my dad came back. Then a few years later, my dad said, boy, I sent you to Sarale because I knew this would happen. So now you're crying, but I tried to help you. You just didn't see it. And now I'm like, damn, I didn't see that.
Shit.
Because at the time, Ubaba was willing to lose everything and start afresh. So he couldn't do that, because remember going to rooms, rent a room, live in the house and stuff. And sending me to somebody else was the point. I tell you that break, then when it's good,
and
then
for him to find himself.
Yeah, then I can come back. So you see that was
so now
the change.
Let's talk about I'm gonna call it a collateral beauty. You lose your mom.
Yeah.
And then you find your talent and gift. You were expressing yourself through poetry.
Yeah.
And then it was converted to rap.
Exactly.
Did you feel, Witty, there was no one who was listening, and the better way to do it was through writing?
At that time.
And at that time, remember you promised to write your mom a letter.
Yeah.
So did you feel that it was you communicating to your mom when you started your craft?
When I started, I remember at the time I was walking from Harangwa to Skidfontein. Skidfontein is very far, so I was walking barefoot.
Like so when you say far, let us put it into kilometers or hours or minutes.
That was like close to 20 km.
When you said barefooted, you didn't have shoes.
Oh, I mean, like,
okay.
I had shoes, but the thing is, I had to walk to, because that's where my friend, my friend used to visit her mom every weekend, so I just needed peace, from the house, because I feel like the house.
After losing your mother.
Yeah, like.
Did you get a chance to go and bury your mom?
No, I didn't.
But did you feel a support from home? Did they grieve with you?
Nothing.
Including your father?
And I think no one did it. I think people thought, I don't know what people thought of me. Nobody, like I was telling my aunt the other day, I said, because I just found her now. So I was telling her, I love you guys. But none of you ever asked me, how do I feel? Whenever I visit you guys, you always ask me, what did you bring me? What are you going to buy me? Nobody cares. How do I feel? Have you ever said that and asked me, how do I feel?
JC, you know what? I'm yearning for someone who's gonna say, how you doing?
That's how I felt. There was a time.
I know exactly what you mean.
There was a time when I sat down and I said, what if I had nothing to bring them? Who would I visit? Because I'm gonna say this now.
So when you're with family, we are with toll gate. It's a toll gate because you need to pop money.
I think I came to some point where I have accepted that they're not there. I think my family now is my wife and my son. Yeah, but I'm saying this so that they also know that that's how I feel. You understand? I can't lie. That we come to a time where we need to stop pretending and like acting like we're good when we're not. You understand what I'm saying? I can go to a show near my home and they will just hear I was around. Not because I don't have the money for toll gate. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the money for the toll gate. I have nothing, guys. I'm trying. Just because you hear that I'm performing next door, it doesn't mean I have money.
And for me to be accepted by you, I have to pop up money.
Ustrelo needs this and that, needs this. It's not like people are gonna say mali yako. They will tell you asifuni mali yako. but the treatment will tell you sifuna imali yakho. You get what I'm saying? They will say to you, no, we will have you asifuna imali yakho, but the treatment they're gonna give you will say sayifuna imali yakho. Where is your money?
I feel you.
You get what I'm saying? I have my brothers, I have my sisters, who are still there. Like not like from my mother's side. My mother's side, I think I'm left with one. But now my uncles and stuff, they visit whom they feel is good at the time. Whoever holds the biggest bucks are the ones who goes. But my clash with his wife, they go there and say.
But it's what it said, and it's not only on Esxhosa or Zulu, but as a developed person, kuthiwa indoda engenamali ayinalizwi. You
get it? But now there comes a time where I don't have that money for everyone, but I have money for my family. You get it? Doesn't sometimes when I say I don't have money, it's like, no, I don't have money. I do, but not for giving people. But for
we are sure not I've got money to take care of me now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I came to realization that people didn't care about me, because when I went back home, it was 2017. That's where I went for the first time, and until now,
that was 14 years later.
Exactly, 14 years later, when I went home, people were just excited to see me. No one asked me, "Boy, how do you feel? Your mom is no longer here. How are you taking his son? I said, are you okay? So I'm saying those kind of questions. Are you okay? I used to be very, very bad, with my wife, until I came to realize I've got problems. I've got issues.
What do you mean when you say you were bad?
No, like
you didn't know how to love her because you were.
You'd be cheating a lot. You'd be very, verbally abusive a lot. You'd be just like, I don't care a lot, because you think you don't care about. It's because
you've lost loved ones.
Yeah, and you think her love is not enough because you're looking for the mother's love, you're looking for the uncle's love, you're looking for the family love.
If my blood can't love me, what makes you think that I will be convinced that you love me?
That's what I'm saying. And at the time when you're not aware that that's what you're looking for, you think her love is not enough. It is enough, but that's not what you're looking for at the time. You got grief, you got anger, you got issues. So I had to sit down and say, this is not okay. You understand? I wasn't the person. Right now, I can actually lock myself in the house with my son and my wife the whole night and day. We'll be good. But that's when I realized that, damn, this is what's important now. I need to build the family that I'm looking up to. I need to be the uncle that I never had. I need to be the father that I had. But I just need to.
Never had.
That's what I'm saying. I just need to do what I think people would have done to me. You understand? Like, I shouldn't be blaming people. Let me play the role. You understand? If people can love me the way I love them, let me just love. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one day it's just gonna come back to me. Yeah,
there's a say you got that when it's J18. You cannot give what you don't have.
That's very true.
And then how did you have it when you didn't have it? Where did you get it to have it for you to love? Because remember, you were never given that.
That's true.
You never had it.
That's true.
But you had to fetch it somewhere so that we can give it. Where did you get it?
So I think the thing that kills us is the acceptance, being accepted. It really got to me, and I wasn't aware. Like that's what hurts you. That's what I'm saying to back to the point I took it to yazin ayikho yonke lento because angeke ngikhona ukuthenga uthando luyadula.
So you had to accept the situation for you to start feeding on yourself so that you can give to somebody else.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what I had to do, that which this is what I'm gonna do, and whoever is gonna love me uzongithanda nginje uzongizonda akunankinga.
So how was it like for you being a young kid who was at school and an entrepreneur? How was it for you?
At that time, I don't lie to you. I used to love spending time in school more than home.
Yeah.
Because they love me, my schoolmates, because I was very entertaining.
Yes.
I understand, I had dreams. I had a lot of dreams. I had bigger dreams. It's a pity that, I couldn't, do everything. But whenever there was events, I knew I would be there, I'll be performing, understand? And don't give me comprehensions, bruh. Don't give me unprepared speech, because I'll kill you. I was good with that, you understand? Because I can say school became my home. Understand? It only broke me, when I was now starting to realize that what's happening. Because when I was with my stepmother, I wasn't aware she's treating me in that way.
She was evil.
Until, I had to, neto izulu ngeskela, like, and, figure scale, man's in day scale, I'm like, yo, yeah, this is now tough. That's what I'm saying. Because every kid, Hambang is special, they're not even going far. My school is far. Theirs is just next part, but they got cars which pick them up, and me, I have to walk, and I had to lie to my dad.
And you were the farthest. You were the one who was going to a fast school from.
Yeah, and I had to lie and be like, "Oh, I'm cool, Dad." I had to travel with the bus, and I'm lying. I didn't travel with the bus. I remember even it got to them. My heels are puma, so essentially, so I had to keep a lessee, so it can be flat. And I still went to school like that. And I'll be confident. That's what I'm saying. I'll be acting like everything's okay. Because the confidence that you have in you, that's why I realized sometimes it's not about that. It's because people didn't even realize that I was working with flat shoes. Those who did couldn't laugh at me because I was already laughing at myself. That's what I'm saying. People can't laugh at you when you've already accepted your situation. People laugh at you when you just, you're trying to be somebody that you're not. I had said, guys, I'm suffering. I put that to them. So I couldn't pretend like I'm okay. Yeah, well, so I had to be like that. So sometimes when I do this music, it's not because I do it to get in Komela Band. They ask me, hey Jesse, you should be on the VIP side. I know the VIP side. I know how people, I just want the other kid that is at home, who's at my there are a lot of kids, I grew up in big houses, and I wasn't part of those houses, but I grew up in those big houses, with the poverty that I had. And at the time I was like, I'm doing this for mama, mama, whenever you see me, I used to talk to my mom all the time. I still talk to my mom now, like, Mom, I'm doing this for you, you just gotta hold on, I'm gonna make it. You keep saying I'm gonna make it, even if you're not making it, but you're like, I'm gonna make it. I think that's the motivation that I got up until people started accepting me now, like, okay, because people don't owe you anything.
They don't. Not just people, the world.
The world doesn't owe you anything.
On its own. Life on its own. Don't owe us anything. So
it's okay.
When we see Jay today.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back. Your journey started when you lost your mom, and you could only write to express yourself.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So you started with poetry, and poetry is rap. Rap is music. Music is poetry.
Music is poetry, yeah.
Tell me about your first time realizing that you've got this in you.
As I said, when I wrote my first song, I was just walking, and I spoke in my head like no one is listening to me. And I was speaking. At the time, I had the mentality, I don't even know how to speak it. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say. I don't want to say too much. But at the time, I had finalized, that it wasn't, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I was tired. I was tired. I was like,
Did you have some suicidal thoughts?
Yeah, I had a lot. I not just suicidal thoughts. Having thoughts is something else. I had planned it out. Like, this is what I'm going to do today. And then, do you know what stopped me? I had to walk. There was a bridge. When I was telling you about the walk to Skidfontein, those who know, they know the road has a bigger bridge when you get there. So like when I get there, I wasn't walking actually to reach where my friend was. I was walking to get to that bridge. So when I get there, that's when I'm gonna jump. I wanted to jump so bad. I was happy to jump. Like, I felt like I would have been the happiest if I had to jump over that bridge. When I walked out of that house, I walked out happy. I'm very happy. I can't wait to meet everybody. Now everybody that I knew is gone. That's what I'm saying. The friends that I have, I can't tell them my situation. They want to laugh at me. Not because I was judging them, because, I used to be okay. You understand what I'm saying? So, how do I go and say, they'll be like, but your dad is good. They you understand? I think, plus they were too young to understand what I was going through. So I went to that bridge, and on my way there, that's when I was writing songs. Because I was like, how are people going to remember me? I was young, but my thoughts were like, how are people going to remember me? I don't even have a child. I have nothing to leave behind. My mom is gone. My sister's gone. Everyone is gone now. What is going to happen? I need something to leave behind. So I was working and I just started, not writing, but singing some lyrics, in my head, singing some lyrics. Remember, I'm going to my last destiny. I go to that bridge, I stood there, and I was ready to jump. And as I was about to jump, my friend, I don't know where he was going. I don't know what happened. He just, beep, beep, the car was like, then they were waving at me. They had to stop. He thought I was coming to him. So they had to stop. And that's when he called me. Say, bro, I know you're coming. Assam, And in my mind, I wasn't going to him, but I was like, bro, I was coming to your place.
What's his name?
Umpo. That's his name. Umpo.
Where is he now?
I'm not sure. We lost contact for a long
time.
Yeah, we're still young. We lost contact. Then he carried me. He was also into poetry. Yeah. Then we carried me, went home. Yeah. That's how I survived. That
incident. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And people don't know. I don't talk about it a lot. But in other words, I'm saying that's heavy it was. That's how heavy it was. It's not like I haven't, drank alcohol. I haven't smoked cigarettes. I did smoke cigarettes the reason why I don't smoke cigarettes because somebody said to me, I smoke because I'm getting rid of my pain. I bought maybe for 5 rand. I don't know how many they were. I smoked all of them.
But the pain was still there.
The image of my stepmother was still there. The pain was still there.
I needed to hear that.
And I never bought cigarettes my whole life until today because I realized they're not doing what people say they're doing. People are just smoking just to smoke. There's no excuse.
You bought cigarettes thinking that the pain would go away.
Yeah, because that's what people say. No. Ask anybody now and ask them, why are you smoking cigarettes?
They say it's because of stress.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away stress.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I was like, no, this thing is not going to work out. It doesn't take away stress. I bought them. I remember the time. So it's like I went through a lot and I don't think there's anyone to blame. Remember, I'm the one who decided to come. So at the same time,
but you were a child who was longing for his father's love.
You understand what I'm saying?
Don't say there was no one to blame. I blame your dad. I blame your mom. I blame them.
Yeah.
Not you.
But the thing with life, we like you said, we when we come here, the book was already written. That's what the Bible says. Like the whole book was already written.
For I knew you before you were conceived.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I thought. That's why I'm no longer blaming people. Yeah. I forgave everybody, I forgave my stepmother. I think if she would come, I would still love her. You understand? Like, I don't think, something. I think not that I deserve that, but I think that's who she is, because of her, I know how to love, people. I know people. I think if she didn't do what she did, bruh, even now, I'd be like, where's mine? What's going on here? How much am I getting paid for this interview? I'll be.
She taught you how to be humble.
You understand? You need to humble yourself because this thing can change any minute. Remember, I was back home at the time. I was happy, and the other part I didn't include is my grandmother. I think I always forget to include her. She's the most important part of the whole thing because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have came here. I came here because I had lost her, and she was the pillar of the whole family. You understand what I'm saying? There's my latest song that I did where I said, grandmother died in my hands, and I was only 10. Dear God, I was only 10. How was I supposed to, in my hands at 10 years old, how was I supposed to deal with that? Like some things that God does, sometimes you'll be very shocked. How do I handle that? I was staying with my grandma soon too, And then, my mom was working all the time. And I said, my mom loved me so much, but she never had time. She was always working. So the reason why I had to come is because I knew mama is going to leave. And of course they're good, but, I needed, my grandmother had shown me some type of love.
So now ugogo sekahambile and you felt, who am I going to be with? Because uma uzophinda hamba yosebenza. So ngcono ngiyekubaba wami.
I think that's where, and mama cried on the funeral. She said some words. I was sitting behind, like, way back, like, they would be like here, funeral Bilana and whatever would be here. And I had to go because I knew my grandmother was lying here. So I sat behind the house, just to connect with my grandma. So I was sitting there. The whole day I was sitting there, like my grandmother is sleeping.
Yeah, because tinemakhaya singcwabele ejardini.
Exactly. So I knew my grandma. At the time. So I knew she's like just behind me. So like I'm like sitting there. There was, I think out of everybody that passed on, everybody that I love, that was the biggest. That's the one that made me weak. And then mama said to Goku, because she was crying loudly, like crying, saying, "Abantu bami bazohlupheka mama," you know. I never forget those words. And when I think of them, I can even hear my mother's voice. And that was very true. We suffered from there. Understand? So if you have your grandmother is alive, if you have, you know, your whole family tree, that's very special.
You're very blessed.
Because when that part was broken, indeed everything was just fell off. Understand? Because mina ukoko maishona being like saying, and she was like, hey, can you get me some water? I did that. She was like, let me lie on your feet before you go to school. Then she came and, you know, she laid like, then she fell asleep. And I'm like, then I had to put it aside.
Because of school.
Yeah. Can the time when I'm laying it down, you know, that's the end. Then I go to school. Then when I come back from school, I wanted to chat to. And I knew it. I nobody had to tell me. I knew it. Because she, you know, she wasn't okay. And I knew it. When I saw people, you know, I knew it. Good time. You know, and my queen had left. And that's what destroyed the whole family. Even today. Family amunye ithanda cool, but it has been broken since. You understand what I'm saying? Because she had the whole family like that. Understand? So I think she's the most important part of the whole conversation. Even though, you know, I talk about mom mostly because, you know, that's my mom. But I think my grandmother, if she was still on, I think I would have been, you know, on the back room or something. I would have been hustling and doing stuff.
You'd be a president.
I'd be just, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, they give you that motivation. I think they understood. People don't understand me now. You know, like, I get a lot of people very, like, they don't, I think people don't understand me the way my mom, my sister, my grandma understood me. You know, I think my wife now, she does because she had to learn me in a long way, you understand? Like, there was a time she almost gave up also. But because she had to learn me, I understand. A lot of my friends, sometimes, they don't understand me. I say stuff sometimes which I don't mean, you know, I'll be joking. And I realize everyone is so weird. People, you know, like, people have this other, like, I said, and then when they talk to me, like, bro, I thought you would know how to respond, you know. Talking about being humble, you know, there was a guy who actually inboxed me who TikTok had less than 50 followers. And I was like, hey, bro, I want to help you. Let's talk business. And I was like, 50 followers, nothing fancy on the post. No cars, nothing.
Help.
It's not yeah. You know, like, I'm close to 50, I'm 50K followers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've got like close to 1 million likes and something. Like, you know, and when people that I know that have money, you know, like, they got a lot of followers. The guy didn't have, you know, wasn't too much. He wasn't even posting money. I'm like, this guy's not even posting Gucci.
But
you understand what I'm saying? But when I responded to the guy, until today, to be honest, he's one of the people that I can call quick dial if I got problems. I'm like, hey, bro. And that's what I'm saying. So sometimes it's important to be humble. Don't judge people by their followers on Facebook, for their followers. And there are big people who don't have followers.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, there are little people who have billion followers. You know what I'm saying? Then there are big people who are not being followed by anyone. Because big people are usually misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? They you know, like, you know what I'm saying? So don't do that to research big people. Especially for the slave queens out there. These days, if you want to get a guy who's got money, stop looking for those likes and post. Tina, so post them up Bentley and you're going to fall for it.
You're gonna
fall for it. So
I get it,
being humble is very important. So I think all this story that we spoke about is what built up. I'm glad because in most interviews they always ask me about
let me tell you, CJ, and I appreciate the support on my pod.
Yeah.
Mina, before you became CJ, I want to know who you were then.
True.
Who are you now and who are you becoming? It's very important.
Yeah, very true.
Because as I said earlier, there's a young CJ out there who's looking up to you.
Yeah, very true.
And who's visioning and has desires in life.
Very cool.
And they think that by snapping a finger, things will come just like that.
Yeah, bro.
And then they will be discouraged. Seeing CJ Maru CJ, there's something wrong with me. So I'm taking that CJ, I'm Tandayo to understand Uti CJ and I started somewhere. So it's okay to start somewhere. That's my whole thing, Uti. people who are looking up to us, they should understand where we're coming from. And whatever that they're going through, they should understand that they have to go through them. There are no shortcuts.
Yes.
That's the whole point. So sometimes I was crying because we as you're saying, we judge.
We judge a lot.
We judge and we conclude.
We conclude a lot.
You understand. And for me, I'm a very sentimental person. This is a sentiment sit. It's not an interview.
Yeah. It's
very
not an
nice.
interview. This is a chat.
You see?
We sat down to talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, this is what I want to know. Your first gig.
Yeah.
Because now you left from Mama Poetry Sessions to rap.
Okay, yeah.
What influenced you to become a rapper?
At the time, there was Pro-Kid, guys. People didn't listen too much to Pro-Kid, but Pro-Kid, bruh, he spoke because there was a song when he said "Unga Polimoya san," and at the time, I sang Pelimoya, and he was like "Unga Pelimoya san." You know?
May his soul rest in peace.
Hey, my brother, that guy. Because I performed this song at school, miming this song.
Okay.
Because I knew all the lyrics.
Okay.
Then there was this song called Soldier. I'm a soldier. What, you know? I forgot the song, but I had to mime it. And everybody was like, "Oh, that's my stuff." And people at the time, I think my schoolmates, they
thought it was yours.
They thought it was mine. So I was like holding the mic and like, because I knew, like I think you don't just do stuff. You first imitate somebody else. So people need to understand that part. I think people always think, you want to be who? Everybody has to imitate
someone before they find themselves.
Not because you hate them, but because you find yourself. Because your mouth to rap, you can't just rap. You need to practice rap. So I had to learn his lyrics. Then I can be able to write my own songs. Yeah, bro. So my first gig at the time, I think it was at YMCA. You know, there was a community hall and stuff. Those were smallest gigs.
There's the YMCA
in Harangwa, yes.
Yeah.
Then I went on until I got signed by Kalawa Jazmee. Yeah, bro, as a group. Yeah, we had a group.
Guys, did you hear that part?
Yeah. That's very true.
Before going to the Kalawa, did you go on Cypher sessions?
I am not good at Cypher sessions. I'm not gonna lie. Cypher, you need to lie a lot for you to go to Cypher sessions.
Really?
Yeah, you need to lie a lot. You can't be honest on Cypher sessions.
Really? Because I feel like with Cypher sessions, Mina, I feel like they're
not real.
Besides being real, I feel like they are there to emotional damage people.
What I can say about Cypher, they're good, you know, for rap. But to be honest with you, a lot of people that go to those, they got a lot of deep issues, so they take it out of
other people. That's what I'm saying.
Because somebody's gonna come here and tell you about your mom. So when someone comes to me, guys, if you see me on Cypher sessions, you guys, you need to get ready. Because if you're gonna be like, "Hey, your mom, what?" I'm not gonna come and rap. I'm gonna say, "Hey, bro, my son paramiza my enzo paramiza my." So that one, guys,
yeah, because they say with some Cypher sessions, you don't have to take anything emotionally, but it's not that deep.
People used to, you know, like I can say names like, you know, MT, you know, all those.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You can't expect MT because he's a rapper, you need him on a Cypher. You can't. Because that guy has to be constructive.
And he's very emotional.
He needs to write his stuff good. Not being emotional.
But he is.
Like what I'm saying, there's a difference between artists who go to Cypher and others, you know, like Casper Universe like that. He's big right now. That's what I'm saying. But he can't go and win a Cypher.
I mean, I used to go I say a new town where we visit underground.
The problem is that's where it ends also.
Yeah.
You can't get a gig for coming because you come from a Cypher session. Because you're gonna tease fans when they're buying alcohol. Hey, you just bought a Hennessy. Hey, why you don't have a jacket? So, you know, you can't. We're not gonna book you. We're not gonna book you because you end up teasing the owner of the whole club. Yeah, and then you end up in the owner club, and you know the guy who pays the whole artists who are booked, and you are booked. Then he's passing by like, and you with the big head, what? And that guy says, "You know what? This show is off. I'm canceling it. So we're not gonna book you for those shows." So that's why you're gonna be underground, you know, for a long time. So I'm not saying it's bad, you know. I love hip hop so much. My music is built on hip hop. I still do hip hop songs. That's where the name JC Rap Edit came from. I was a hip hop artist at the time. Even when I was signed to Kalawa, I was doing hip hop.
Let's talk about being signed to Kalawa. I heard you said you were signed as a group.
Yeah, I was signed as a group.
So you started. I remember back then. I'm a solo artist with very few people. Most of people, they had to be in groups for you to be accepted.
Exactly.
How did you form the group and what was it called then?
At the time, I had my own group, which was called Pim Cash Entertainment. Then there was another group, which was called Chiga Boys. They were doing house music. And then I picked up with rap. Yeah, bro. We did sessions, hip hop sessions. So hip hop sessions were different from ciphers because hip hop sessions, you come there, perform your 2 songs, and at the time, I would make sure I'm the one who's paying sound system, paying the venue, so that artists can come for free and perform, and people will be entering for free to just watch. Because I wanted this, I wanted so bad for people to listen to us. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody who's doing hip hop is always misunderstood. When you see your son writing hip hop, like, what are you doing? And then when they're reading a book for no reason, you're like, oh, you're gonna be a doctor now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to understand.
It's so weird, I'm resonating. I'm a hip hop fan.
Okay.
I don't resonate with amapiano.
Yeah.
I listen a bit of deep house.
Yeah.
I listen to a bit of Afro.
Okay.
But I am a
hip hop fan.
I listen to rap. I listen to hip hop.
Exactly.
Gaze.
So I did that.
I'm a lyricist. So to catch me, you need to say things. I'm not into beats.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm into figures of speeches.
Exactly.
Any day.
So what I did, like I told you, I wasn't good with freestyling and stuff. So we never had cypher sessions, but we had sessions, hip hop sessions, like whereby they wrote it to Mamelodi, whatever we did. They were very big, bro. And at the time, we realized we're not being booked, so we had to do our own things. And it built hip hop at the time. That was 2016. It built social hip hop a lot. Even now, if they're not gonna lie, they're gonna tell you the hip hop sessions were no longer the same. We made them very big at the time. They're not doing it now because nobody wants to sacrifice their own money to pay
the events and all that, the whole setup.
I did that. You understand what I'm saying? And then it wasn't because I was benefiting anything, but it was like bengfuna ubona, abantwana amachita. It took a lot of people out of the streets. Because
I love what you're saying when you say it took people out of the streets. We recently opened an NGO, ne?
Okay.
So see registered and everything.
Yeah.
Because we realized, Uguti, our kids, they have nothing to do but their phones and TVs.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But back then we had a concert, we had gigs.
You know what I'm saying?
You were always looking forward to go there on weekends.
That's very true.
We were taking people out of the streets, like you mimic whoever. Sasnabo Cisco Daria Kumbula concert told group somebody sleeping. So I get what you're saying.
So I think we did that, and then because the song Push became big at the time. Push, read it, that was like the biggest song. Not big like as in like, but Victoria,
So was Pitor.
Yeah, too much.
So
there was a show, Gamala to Tamalinga. We went there to perform, and then there was Batuban Fanagaike, this boy Batuban. It's not a boy as such. I'm saying boy because I'm sure it's a Lingana. Yeah, Batuban younger.
Younger. Oh,
so he was performing.
What if the one who just did? What if God did it? Yeah. Oh my God!
He was performing before us or after some. I'm not sure. But when we got there with one song, we killed it. Push. Push. You know, like the crowd was like vibing, and there was like the whole Kalawa Jazmee there. Not the whole as such because it's big, but there was jokes, there was Professor, there was a lot of big dudes there. And then jokes, I didn't know him at the time. I knew him, of course, not Trombes, but at the time I didn't know him like personally. Then he came, backstage and like, hey, can I have your shirt? Because my shirts were written Push. Push Ritzenele, Push. You understand?
Push Ritzenele.
Ritzenele. Yeah.
Push
Ritzenele.
Oh, push Ritzenele. Okay. Push asizingenele.
Yeah. So you're like, and then I was like, because I always loved teamwork.
Push asizingenele.
So I had my brother TJ, he was the manager at the time. Because what I did, I would.
So you had TJ and you are CJ.
You know what I'm saying? Like JC. So
JC. Yes.
So what I would do, I was like, hey, TJ, you want to do the managing part? So he was the one. So jokes my figure, I'd finish it. I'm like, hey, bro, can you just get this guy a shirt? So the guy like, do you know who's this? I'm like, give him a shirt, bro. So I'm not there. I was like, I mean, you just killed the show. there is no email at the time, with him kicking stuff. So I'm sure he kicked something wrong in the air. There's a lot of things in the air there. So he wasn't able to perform. So we did that.
He might have kicked something in the air.
Yeah, he kicks a lot of stuff. You can't just kick in the air. But anyway, sorry for that to Somalinga. He was hurt.
That's a good one. Poo poo poo. Shot. Yeah.
He was hurt, so we performed on his birthday. It was his birthday. Yeah. And then Dr. Somalinga, jokes. He had a follow up on us. Then we went to see him. Then he introduced us to Kalawa. I'm not gonna lie, the signing was good, but it never worked for us, to be honest.
Tell me about it.
At the time, there was Ambitious Entertainment. We met Ukosi. Ukosi, we met him before Kalawa.
Okay.
Then we went to sign with Kalawa because Jokes was eager. Rest in peace, bro. But Jokes was eager for us, for those guys to like. Kalawa Jazmee was like some company whereby there's a lot of individuals there. Depends who you came with. You get attention depending on who you came with. Because our song was big. It could have been even bigger if they had pushed it hard. But Jokes was fighting for that. Guys pushed. Yes, he convinced. It's like we were signed out of pity. Let's just sign them. I feel like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But then, not that they hated us, not that.
So Ambitious was recognized, was acknowledging you as well.
We sold the song to Ambitious at the time for Miss Prue. I'm not sure if I'm serious.
No, that's Miss Prue. I know Miss Prue.
Yeah,
Miss Prue
we actually went.
Did few songs with these guys. Black Diamond.
Yeah,
yes.
We actually did a collab over here, which Ambitious paid us fully. We're not gonna lie about that. We paid fully for that. It's called that was Miss Prue's first song. It's called Welele. Yeah. We got paid. So here's how Ambitious did. They paid us and we agreed on the payment. So we took it. The problem starts when you start seeing someone is like, I should have got $1 million there. Then you start hating. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You're selling somebody something that he himself doesn't know if it's gonna sell, but he's already bought it. So when he buys it and sells it for $1 million, and people buy it,
going 50 rand. If $5 million,
so the problem starts when you sell people something that is not even worth it.
Because I bought this without knowing I'm going to 25 million.
You just buy it and then you print it something nicely. And then people buy it. Yeah. And I start feeling like, oh, Chitile, I'm the one, I was there when you bought that jacket. So I think that's what artists do, you understand? So I'm not going to discredit Kalawa Jazmee as such, but I'm just going to say, I think they just signed us because Jokes wanted us to be signed. Not because they wasn't going to help us. Maybe our music at the time wasn't on their level or something. Yeah. But Jokes was like, sign this boy, like he fought that war. I remember he pushed them so much for that. Yeah, but so Tina Nati, after getting signed.
But did you go through now you signed without including lawyers, without...
Yeah, we did that.
Without even checking the whole contract.
Yeah, we signed a 5 year. But here's the thing, Kalawa wasn't bad on us, hey, what did you release that? They didn't do that, to be honest with you. But when I think it happens when you have made money. Even now, even if you sign me, Sispane, we can break up without anything. But if we make money, that's when people go back to the contracts. Like, hey, what did we agree on? You understand? So I think we also never had some drama with Kalawa because we never had. I don't think we made money for them. Not because we were not able to make money for them, but I think at the time the timing was not right.
Right.
Like I always refer to.
Did you think that then you were relevant to whatever that was
we were
in
good.
the air?
We were good because that was hip hop, They had already signed AB Crazy, and hip hop was the thing, and our song Push was the thing at the time. You understand? It just didn't get. Remember, we got the song on TV, and MT is playing like every second on TV. Maucha Chiga roll up, Maucha Chiga roll up, Maucha Chiga. So you're competing with somebody who's playing every second.
You push, you roll up.
So Kalawa wasn't. I think they did things the straight way, like just submitting a song. That's it. And so if they played, they played. And so I think what we needed some sort of
push.
You
need a push. You needed a push to push.
You understand?
You needed a push to push the push.
To push the push.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna say what they didn't do their job. They did. You understand what I'm saying? Like according to the normal way, but at the time
it needed a boost.
Our ambitions was coming big, bruh. They were dropping hip hop artists left and right, and we're doing hip hop. But you know.
And then they had that, they had that, your Java, your Miss Pro.
Yeah, and I remember Ambitious was just good with hip hop.
Yeah, Abu Ameni,
they were good with hip hop. Then on the other side, Abatala, they're good with house music. So I can't blame them. And that's what I'm saying. Like you said on your chat, your pod is different. So even their company was different. It wasn't onto that hip hop. Not that they're not good, but they had strategies for their house music.
Yes.
It worked.
Yes.
But then with the hip hop, remember boy HVK, they drop hits and stuff. So I think Lati, we were there it's just at the wrong time a little bit. Understand? Because
so Nina ambitious where the hip hop was going.
We would have been crying better now. We're like, yo, bro, they robbed me $1 million. So if they rob you $1 million, it means you have something on your pocket.
I mean, you cannot get to a coffee shop ufuni soup.
You understand what I'm saying? So at the time, I think Jokes saw what I see now.
Yeah.
Because with him putting me to Kalawa is the reason why I had to do house music. Because that's why I learned house music. Because he kept saying, but you need to do house music. You know, Kalawa is about house music. So we learned it, then we did it later after the contract was long expired. Not because of Kalawa, like we didn't do anything.
So when signing a contract for 5 years?
Yeah, but we as a team, we did nothing. Like we started breaking up, we started fighting, you know, right? Like the contract, like, hey, so you want to chase you think you're bigger than us, huh? Oh, so you went to the meeting alone, huh? Like there's a lot of things that happen when you get signed, which make artists break up earlier.
Did you feel like a superstar then, though?
I never felt. Even now, I don't feel like a superstar. I don't know how it feels like to be a superstar. I don't want to lie to you.
When are you gonna start feeling like a superstar that you are?
You see, when I'm done, you know, like building my family a big house that I need, and you know, like my kids are safe, everything is good, I think I'll feel like a superstar. Okay. You know, with the fame, bro, you go on TV now, you go home broke.
You're the third person that I've seated with today who's saying that.
Yeah, you can't, man. You can't feel like a superstar because you were on TV. Mm-hmm. No, people get on TV, you know, saying stuff like, I was here, I saw the car passing by, then that one was shooting, then, you understand, like, they get on TV on that.
Yeah, I remember December, I went home and they kept on asking things from me in my car. They kept on, well, like, I'm not mad. TV.
Exactly.
Yeah, when everywhere. Yeah, that time YouTube that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think inathi yasibulala lento yokuthi uzibone wena like a superstar. You know, you get to a point where you see yourself as a superstar. It's okay to be confident, but sometimes it kills us because now I can't walk. You know, you can't drink your normal stuff. You
cannot use a taxi.
You know, you can't eat. I mean, I love Amasonja too much. So you can't eat Amasonja because
love Amasonja
too much.
Why won't
So like what I'm saying, like I love being with people. I love being on the pole or the crowd. You know, I don't like VIP because there's a lot of people competing and stuff,
and there's
pressure. You know, and they spend a lot.
Unnecessary pressure.
Unnecessary pressure. So I'm a family man. I don't want to spend a lot for no reason. So when you get to a superstar level now, you have to spend the money that you don't have. You end up spending money, your friends' money. You know, now you end up scheming because you can't be with your normal friends.
You cannot.
You know, you just need people. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. So I mean, I think on my side, I don't know how. Maybe when I get there, that's what I'm saying. I'll feel like now I'm a superstar. But the thing is, feeling like you're a superstar, it means you're different from others. So I mean, I don't want to feel like that.
And feeling like a superstar, it means that you are at stake, that you can drop anytime.
You understand what I'm saying? So Mina, you know, I want to be famous, but I don't want to be that famous. You know, like I want to be famous. Yes, I want to be popular. I want to be known, but I don't want to be at a stage whereby I just can't. You know?
See people.
I think there's some levels. No matter how hard I'm pushing with this music thing, there's some levels that I don't want to get to, because I know they're tiring. You know what I'm saying? There's some levels that I don't want to get to. Even a bus, you know, my destinations. You know, like you need to tell yourself, I mean, I'm doing Joburg to Soweto. You can't say I'm doing Joburg to Malawi. It's gonna train you somehow. Yeah. Like there needs to be. You need to have your route to say, no, I'm gonna do the bus driving, and I'm gonna get customers, but I'm gonna end here.
And here, I mean, yeah, sure. Suiçide, even the best dancer knows when to leave the stage.
Exactly.
Because we are to curtail man.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel maybe when the I think, I mean, if I was this famous, maybe 13 years ago, at that time when I was still young,
you'd have smoked it long time ago.
People would have got tired of me. Yo Benzo, Katera Ngami. Yo, you understand? Like there would have been some, you understand, some like at that time. Benzo feel with man.
Yeah.
Mr. White.
Yeah. Ukuthi hawu studio sincane kanje mfethu ubiza mina la.
Biza mina la.
La studio sincane kanje.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think I think some things they prepare us. I think uNkulunkulu sometimes it looks at your intentions. Yeah, but before bless. Like so layfuni moto because ufuna ukuspina and then aphathi ingane. Emfana you're not gonna have the car anytime soon.
I love it.
So when you change your intentions, yeah, but like I need $1 million because in this $1 million I think I can do an orphanage. I think I can have my family a house. I think God
I can secure my kids' future.
That's it. So our intentions sometimes are the reasons why we don't make it.
I love that.
You know, like our intentions are
actually I needed to hear that.
You understand? Like that's very true. Yeah. Your intentions of doing this podcast are just gonna make you go where you wanna go. Yeah. Your intentions, the ones that you know yourself, not the ones that you wrote on your vision. You know, your company vision and stuff. People write stuff, but people have their own. You understand? Like into in the Slee guys, especially for those that are coming up. This is not some industry we just wake up and want to sing. Think about it. You know, think about it. Like
then it needs brave ones because anything that you say, you're offending someone.
I started writing
anything that you're doing, you're offending someone out there.
I started writing music 2007. I recorded my first song 2007. I dropped my first album and videos 2014, and then I only had a song that put me in. Even after being signed by these companies and being on TV, I only had the song that put me on in 2023. So imagine if somebody had told me in 2007 that what you're doing now,
it's gonna pay off 20 years later.
And they showed me I was gonna drop it. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it. So sometimes imagine if I didn't make it.
Yeah, man.
You know, you've got the studio every time you're telling your wife, I'm busy, baby, I'm recording my shit.
You know when JC, like you don't understand, Uzi. Actually, you're here to heal me.
I guess.
Because I had my pod
okay
last year in March.
Yeah.
And I'm only sitting on 2.1 subscribers.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's been very hard.
Okay.
And more especially when you have equipment.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yo, can't when? And you have seats nabo Nusem.
Yeah.
You have seats like about JC. You have seats with big people and be like, Kanti, when is it coming? When is it coming? You know?
It's the process.
But as you say that at some point, because even myself, when I did it then, Bengbonabo McG. At some point in Google McG, Nabo King David.
Yes.
But the difference now is I found this pod as healing for me. I'm really healing from it. Like it's a hobby for me, and it makes it easy for me because it's really not going as I thought, but it's worth it.
You know, in terms of A1, you in life, especially what you're doing now, you just need to know that everything is a process.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for you to blow up. You know, for you to get to million, it takes only a few hours. You know, people think it takes a year to get to million. A few hours, you get to 1 million views. You know, but the thing is, like everything has its own process.
Yeah.
You know, like you just have to go through that process. You know, like I always tell people that it's like, you know, you know, and umkhulu sometimes uyalithatha manje singasakhona ukukhatha isihlahla alibekele eceleni because ithundubele manje alisayenzi, you know. But then what it does, ngelinye ilanga uzolithatha lelo hloka, you know. It's like you feel like you've been forgotten, like people are not giving you credit. But when the time is right, the process looks bad, you know. You just go there, you see 2 views because it's when you watch him from a distance, you're like, where's Anomkulu?
Yeah,
you know, that's how it looks like, right?
Yes,
like it's bad, right? When he takes it out, like, oh, okay, he took it out.
I mean, in the interview, no JC, he's got followers, he's got, and then I feel like when most of like, yeah, you know, JC, uzomthatha angibeke somewhere, his people gonna recognize me, and then they're gonna see what I'm doing. It doesn't work like that.
So when you mawuthatha lehloko likhipha lemlilweni uzoshaya again ngesando, you know, like
yeah.
And then when he's done with it, this was sharp manje.
Yes.
But the process now, did you see how it was like for it to get to that far? It was bad. It looked bad. The process of everything that you're doing looks bad. You know, if it's gonna be good, it looks bad. But now when it's been sharpened and don't allow you, be like, what did I do? You know, you know, you'll be wondering yourself. I want to be wondering now you'll be wondering, how did I get this? Like, it's the process. Look at, I always say people that when you're tired of your life and stuff, always go back to my life. Look at my life. Say, just use me as an example. Say, but what I say, from this to that to this, 13 years old. Like, calculate all those things. They say, but I saw him, he's happy, he's living, he's still strong. Then you're like, man, I can do it.
I can
your
do
problems,
it.
Sometimes your problems might be just small.
I mean, even I remember listening to Mekchi's story. I mean, he started podcasting iPhone XR.
Yeah.
And he had to sell his house.
Yeah. For
him to start all of this. So, I mean, he's got a story to tell.
Just imagine the whole house, having to sell the whole house just because you want to pursue.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think it's very, very important. Very important for you to just sacrifice what you can sacrifice and make sure you follow your dreams. I think that's another important story for today.
So now tell me, what are highlights right now in your life when it comes to your craft?
All right. I think now the most important thing, the video that I just did now, and also the vibe that I'm getting from being on ITV, Mr. ITV, from the love that people are getting by showing me from Ekaya, you know, my hometown and stuff. I think those are big highlights in my career at this moment. I love that. And a shout out to you guys. I see your love and I appreciate it so much.
What are other projects that you're working on right now?
Ungiqolele featuring Zinjazi Mluma, which is also pushed by Imbe Sumain, which is we're doing a tour with it manje. Uzinjazi Mluma is a Maskandi artist. Do you know him?
Uzinjazi
Mluma.
Uzinjazi Mluma. Yes. Yeah, and I love Maskandi, by the way.
It does Maskandi. He does the Maskandi music.
So you met them when you went to Durban?
No, he's from my hometown.
Okay.
We did a song together.
Okay.
And then after that, we did the video also, yes.
Okay, so that's the project you're working on.
Yeah, that's the project. It's already out.
Oh, it's out.
Just check it out on YouTube. Mr. TV featuring Zinjazi Mluma, yes.
And then while we're still on it, can you please mention all your social platforms?
Mr. TV, JC Rap Edit. That's how you find me on Facebook, on TikTok. Yes.
Okay, and then are you open to bookings?
Yes, I'm open to bookings. I had to take a break a while because I was overbooked last year. Okay. But then this year I was like, nah, I'm taking it back. So I'm a bookings. It's I don't know if I should share my number.
You can share your number or your email or whatsoever.
What you do, you can it's 083 482 6797, which is 083 482 6797. You can add me on that. Then I'll give you the right contact to approach when it comes to booking me. You don't book me directly, but for me to make sure that you understand, like you actually get, I can actually, because I can't agree to. I've got a team. Like I told you about, I've got my sister also who I'm working with. She's doing the VU Nation Entertainment part, because we've got VU Nation Entertainment, which is whereby we're trying to assist a Mayama artist to make sure that they push.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, VU Nation came as in like, I don't want this to be about me, cool, because everything that I've been doing is about other people. I want people to, as you heard what I said about the song. The song can save marriages. The song can take someone somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it's not about me waiting for me and be popular. I want baby ngazi or what's going on. No, I think the most important thing ngifuna ukuthi lento mangithi ngeqeda kusasa but awujisi wenze 1 2 3 ushiyubani nobani. So I feel like we need to go to that level whereby singafika kuleyo part, you understand? So yeah, VU Nation Entertainment is about that. Does
it have social platforms as well?
Yes, you just search VU Nation. Ungathi VU Nation was told lapha. And then mina like I told you to Mr. Ngativu or JC Rap Addict yabo. So
Rap Addict.
Yeah. So Usiswami is the one who's handling the Vu Nation Entertainment. She's actually.
Do you have an email address?
Yes, it's vunationentertainment@gmail.com.
Okay. Yabo. And then another thing that I want to ask, how did you have a relationship or a relation with Resonation Records? How did you meet them?
Okay. I was like, I was recording with other people before, but like I said, people misunderstand me. Yabo. We live in a world where people always like feel like you're obligated to stuff. You know, like I just did a podcast with you now. It means when I'm doing to another one, I need to call you and tell you.
No, like really, why?
That's how people feel, yeah.
Okay.
So I came back after going home to do my gigs and stuff, and maybe my people felt like he's got money. So I called my guys. Guys, we need to go to the studio. I got to DJ Tino. Shout out DJ Tino there.
DJ T.
Shout out Chavriza.
Good DJ T.
DJ Tino.
Tino.
Yeah. So like, hey guys, we need to record because DJ Tino is different from recording. Recording is different. Like as you can see, this record label is recording me. Then there's your producer. There's
someone who's mastering. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, get it.
So I had somebody that was doing that, which we were good. But you get back and you get the vibe. And now we made it, guys. But because I recorded a song at your place and I paid your fee,
so why do you feel it's some entitlement?
That's what I told you before. That whenever people sell you something and you sell it good, they start feeling like you owe them.
Gotcha.
So I think at the time my guys might have felt like I owe them something.
Okay.
And at the time I don't know what they think I owe them. So like, okay, cool. Then I'm a spiritual person. I always pray a lot. So I stayed like 3 months without recording anything. And I kept telling people that the album is ready. And there was no album. I'm sorry, there was no album at the time. I took out the date of the album release and the album was not there yet. There was no songs, nothing. But I knew the album was going to be there. So I met my guy via Facebook. I had to just search like recording studios. Then I found a lot of people. I called this one. I felt like the connection was not there. Because it's not about recording, guys. It's not just about recording. This thing is deeper than recording. Yeah. You can go to the biggest studios in the world. It's not about that. It's about the soul, that you meet. And you can connect. The music is spiritual. Yes. It's like church. You can't just church everywhere. Yes. Like you need to have your own selection. Like this pastor can talk to me.
What was the outstanding thing about Resonation Records?
He understood what I wanted and he was patient. And he was not, even though he needed, somebody can give you their price on how they work, but it was not about that.
Come here. You know what I like about Resonation? Yeah. I'm Resonation family.
Yeah, they say.
What I like about them, they don't forefront imali. Those people, they say, let's work and then we'll take it from there.
That's what I wanted to see. Because that's what people portray.
Yeah. They would say, can you give us umsebenzi wethu ufuna senzeni, and then when you're happy, we will talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with me. And that's what I wanted. Because when you go to a place where imali right, what if I'm not okay? So friendship is dead. So I'm not gonna start that kind of friendship.
That is why you cannot go to the toll gate of your family.
Yeah, I can't.
Gotcha.
Because I don't wanna hide myself. I wanna visit people and go there.
And noma ngidlipapa nekhabishi ngingathuki mawuthi uyeza ngithi ntwana uzofika ushaye lento engishayayo so dlipapa nekhabishi.
Yeah, so I don't want people who look at me and think I have money. I want people who look at me and think siyafana siyaphanda.
True.
You understand? So sophanda so ithola mangitholeni ngizoyithola mangenayo na. That's what I'm saying. So I think that's what made me say I'm gonna stick with the guys. And I'm gonna work, and I've been working with them, and we did an album which is great. We did our first song. It's called Vugu Vugu. Oh, they love the song. It's going crazy. Vugu Vugu. It's Vugu Vugu. Yeah. So because me now called Mahlaba told Mafuza Fulel Malwala Pagat.
So
that's who I am. So the song is about that. It's the current song also. I think I've got a lot of the problems. I've got a lot of songs that are good. People they love them.
You're like Resonation. Go to so prison they have a lot of songs that
you told me.
Yeah.
So I think it was about that. That's how I met them, and we've been working since. there's nothing. I think Machita, you know,
Yeah,
we
simple
talk,
people, and
you know, and just now we came to the studio 6 o'clock. I was at the
yeah,
studio.
they told me.
You know, cause I slept with something. You know,
And
like,
how is it like having your wife being your support structure? I mean, she's here with you, and as you said earlier, but sometimes it's not easy when your partner calls you and be like, you know, like, how is it like?
I'm artist, I'm either female or male.
Mm.
They don't make it because of their spouses. There are other female artists who are good, but they're sitting at home because their husband said, you're no longer going to sing.
And then how do you, because Gimona is your cheerleader.
What my wife does, I don't want to, you know, hurt my fans, because I know a lot of fans will come to my inboxes. I'm tired of it. But you know what my wife, what she does?
Yeah.
She says to me, show. She'll be like, no, man, your hair is not good.
Yeah.
I think you need to wear this. They will like it.
Good.
You know? And I'll be like, you know, even my either couple flight or whatever, but she'll be like, no, this guy's going to a show. And she's not gonna call me during the show and be like, who are you with? It's in Bone. Are you at the show? She believes in me. She's not gonna confirm.
Guys,
you know, there's
I don't care if it's a wife, it's family, it's friends. All we need is people who believes in us.
Exactly.
I love this.
You know, people who believe in you can take you far. Because there was a time when I used to seven Simale. I remember when we shot this other video.
Grocery.
Yeah. We had no money. We took this little that we have. We shot this other video. It didn't make it. The song that made it had no budget. We had no budget. I had no budget.
Yeah.
Until today, it had no budget.
Someone said, keep on working, keep on posting, and you will never know which one will be.
That's what I'm saying. So right now she's doing her businesses where I'm supportive. I market for her. You know,
what is she doing?
She's selling, you know, sneakers. You know, selling stuff. You know,
I need to take her numbers.
Yeah, she's selling good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm also a customer as well. So she supported me first. And now it's easy for me to support her. That's what I'm saying. Because right now she's here, you know. She could have been
doing her things.
Yes. But to tell you,
I need to be here.
And in army, because I know this is what I'm doing and I know what I'm doing for.
And for you to give her insights, I would say, Samsung, this is what I do. To have a clue. Yes.
Because Maslana, you know, somebody thinks, maybe there's some champagne there, then there's some girls stay waiting there, someone is actually twerking there.
As much as most of people, when it comes to me, they always say, there's a Slee, they must want to set here because there'll be a camera guy standing there, there'll be
that's I think that's what people think in most cases.
Yeah.
You know, like
they think that there's a lot of team.
Like I say to I'm an artist, guys, think about it. Is this what I want to do? Yeah, because it's not an easy road. Even if you make a hit song, it's not an easy road. I know a lot of artists who are suffering. That's what I'm saying. Not because they sign paid contracts, but because it's an industry where you get replaced.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you can be replaced in a second.
So I was like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I don't want to be in any other. If I see those top 20 on radios, I love them, which is good. But I've never sat down and say, I want to see myself.
Yeah.
There was a time when Ukanmin was my friend, you know, he was my best friend.
I want you to meet this guy called Dwela.
Yeah.
What Dwela said the other day, I'd rather have 10 people who believes in me than 1,000 people who says,
yeah, because I once attended this other gig with my team when we were signed. Must figure out the sound was bad and there was a lot of people, and my guys were like, we're not gonna perform. Guys, we Kalawa Jazmee artists, we can't be. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna perform here.
Yeah.
You know why? Guys, performing for 1,000 people who are not even there for you, and perform for 10 people who came to see you.
Always there for you.
That's the greatest thing, because those 10 people will hear you.
And they've been through with you.
Tina sing artist, you know, you see Mcimbi with a lot of crowd and say, can you give me a chance? Nah. Go to that small crowd. You'll get a chance. You're not gonna get a chance on those big events. And when you get it, it's just not gonna make sense. Because those people are there maybe waiting for a certain artist. And you just want to curtain raise, which is good. But you'll always be a curtain. Do you know curtain raisers are always curtain raisers?
You know, Yambono Mau.
Yes, I know.
Mau is a big artist.
Yeah.
Did you see that viral video of hers where the crowd was not responding at all? Anyway,
Yeah, I saw that.
That thing humbled me.
Yeah, it does. Even with the Scott, it happens.
Oh my God, no, Scott, it's different. Because maybe it's because of the things that he said on podcast.
Yeah.
So
what was the cause?
No, I don't think there was. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how big you are. Sometimes the crowd won't feel you.
Yeah, I remember.
Max ne bengwa Max bengsamlazi last month.
Yeah.
And Zumlazi, we know it's always crowded.
Yeah, is it gangster though?
It was. We didn't even have 20.
Is it gangster? Is Zumlazi
no, I don't know, but because we had our driver, we left with our driver from here.
So you also don't feel safe when you're there? Okay. So is it gangster or not?
As I'm saying, I was not scared.
But is it scary?
No, I wasn't. Cause
you were not scared, I get it, but is it scary?
And we were strictly going to Amex. So we didn't.
So it's scary?
No, I'm not scared. But
is it scary?
No,
it's not scary.
What I'm trying to say.
I love Umlaza. I just you know what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Okay,
so
I'm
asking as somebody who's never been there.
It's hard for me to say.
Okay.
Because we went in the evening.
All right. Yeah.
And we had our special driver who took us from point A to B.
So you don't know much.
I really don't know. We were from South Beach straight to Mlazi, Eyadini, Kamex. So when we got there, it was not even 100 people there.
Yeah.
Like it's Easter holidays. Kugamex. Just because of what he said. Umex said, people who goes there, it's not his target market. He said, imagine uzothenga inyama nge-150.
But I think
and then people.
I think what's happening now lately in these days, people need to be careful. The social media is just too much.
Listen,
way back, people used to say these things, and the right people wouldn't hear those things.
Listen, the saddest part, 5 minutes drive away from Guamex, at the exit.
Right.
Hikawash.
Okay.
All the people who went to Max.
Yeah.
They were there. Trust me, it's a field. Obviously, Kawashi hasn't done.
Yeah.
Guamex like kune VIP. It's a shelter. It's secured. Yeah. But Lalela, all the cars you could think of, all the people that you could think of,
all those big guns,
they were at Kawash, the exit, just to prove Gumex you are who you are because of us, and that's what we forget in a band.
So this goes back to what I told you earlier, Uguti. I'm like this, because it can change anytime.
Yeah.
The reason why you see me so humble is because I know that the seat that I'm sitting, as soon as I stand up, somebody's gonna sit there. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it's not something that I should be too confident. Like it's okay to. I know somebody's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? I know one day that somebody's gonna come and be the next Mr.
Yeah. You remember what Scott said?
Yeah.
Mina, I'm who I am because of you guys. Even if umafuna ngikusude isicathulo ngizosula.
Mina I do that. I once went to this big event. It was a Scotine, and I was at the VIP. And at the VIP, I had no friends as such. I only had a couple of Umzo 7 was there with him, and Oma 9. Those are the guys that I was with. Then my friends, my ghetto friends, they came at the pole. They're like, and I was like, and the guys got the vibe, and that's it. Because remember, here at the VIP, we talking much. Like, there's
talking
no
business.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna walk, and my security was like, you can't be this. I'm like, bruh, relax. You see those friends of mine, they're gonna be the security now. Just hamba much. And we had to walk around the crowd, like, you know what I'm saying? That was the wildest party I had. Because, like, Manja was enjoying, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that's who I am, I'm that child. Like, from a Kasi, from Mcheksani in MCT, like, you understand? A boy, you understand?
Yes.
I don't want to, of course, I can be big, but that thing is heavy. I've seen my brothers, bro. I've shed, I've seen millionaires. I've seen people suffering because of where they got, you understand?
So it gives you that thing good to know you can survive anywhere in the world because you've lived both of.
That's what I'm saying. I think at this moment, if I'm cheating, it's okay. it's okay. Like nobody can predict me. You'll never know what in
I love that.
Because I drink a lot in your man. That's why you see me popping bottles. I don't drink because I'll be planning this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm a cheater. They don't get a lot of me at that time. So I'm not the type whereby then I'll pop. If you see me popping bottles, play away because I don't have money. At the time I don't have. I'm popping your bottles. I'm not popping anything. Like bro, when you get to that level, a lot of people that have money, like real money, like the one that they worked for, they don't have time to actually spend it on drinking.
True,
and stuff.
and not even in brands.
On how to get another one.
And not even in brands. People who've got money, they don't really spend on brands. And even if they spend on brands, they won't be wearing brands that everybody will tell that it's a brand.
Yeah, I spent time with the guy who sponsored our video. Ovans.
Yes,
I spent a lot of time with him. Yeah, I wish he was here. I wanted to come with him, Evans. He's a good guy.
Why didn't you bring him? Please ask him. I would love to have a seat with him.
I was with him. I was just studying his lifestyle,
Please
and he hardly drinks, and I was like, if I was at his level, like this guy is on GD6, it's like big cars, you know what I'm saying? Like, got the houses you've done. And I'm like, if I would have been drinking daily. That's me thinking.
Yes.
Then I'm like, no, he can't. Because now this guy has to know people are waking. People he has to maintain some stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So the people sometimes need to be careful on what life you're trying to. When are you working for your money and then you see me bowling at the club and then you want to bowl? Tomorrow I'm not thinking on how to make it. Some people, they don't even work for that money. So when you're spending yours, when uvuka ekuseni ulele usukhathele ushaya ikhanda le hangover, that guy obucompete naye akana stress leso uzovuka nje ayithathe somewhere
uthatha into
easy. Then the real guys that work hard, you understand what I'm saying? Like they don't have time for that. Because when like we're driving all the way, we're not even drinking. So I realized this guy, he got people waking at the mind. He got people waking. He needs to communicate. Imagine if this guy gets drunk and he can't answer his phone next day.
That's very true.
Exactly. So I'm motivated by such people. Understand, like I'm saying? When I look at such people, I don't hate. I'm even jealous. When I see people succeeding, I'm like, how can I? I told him, like, oh, bro, one of your houses is actually my dream house. And that's one of yours. I'm dreaming one of those. So I'm thinking that's a motivation.
It is. So we should be surrounded by people who motivate us. It's one of the things I always say. You would see one of the things, I'm not saying this in a malice ways, but I'm grateful ukuthi ngaphume kasi.
Yeah, that's true.
Ekasi uthenga ibhodlela ubaya iteki ubiza amajita babona ukuthi you've made it ngepolo lakho.
Exactly, yeah.
But you come to the burbs, someone is driving you, Austin Martin, or whatsoever.
You understand what I'm saying?
They don't care. You'll be like, yes, I thought I made it. I need to do more. Like you get motivated every day.
I was telling somebody, I think the small budget is what you can rent out cooking. It's okay if stay cooking, guys. Whoever stays there, it's not a problem. But now, if I say no, I'm going there because I'm trying to save money. I'm actually...
You'll be demotivated.
What's going to happen when I get there? If I have 5K, I'm going to pay for rent for the whole year.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to be making babies the whole year.
Thank you.
But I'm not saying to those who are saying I'm cooking. I'm saying to me, who's going to come from the suburbs and saying, save your money and go to... Because remember, they can't afford to stay in the suburbs. Then who are forced to stay in the suburbs, you can't save your money by going back to Mkukwini. When you get there, trust me, brah, you'll be having 20K. And that's enough to build yourself a big Mkukwini. Then next thing you're like, I've made it. In suburbs,
my point.
In suburbs, that's a rent. That's some rent
20K.
Money.
What is 20K in the burbs?
That's just rent money. So even your hustle will decrease. Even your worries about money will decrease. And when you stop worrying about money, there's a problem.
Exactly my point. I want to know, while we're still talking about not worrying, who are your dream local collabs and who are your dream international collabs?
Okay, I would say here in SA, I've been always watching on my cards, because my style.
Yes, let's kill a combo.
Yes.
Tell me about Licombo.
Licombo wasn't, people don't know. I'm going to be honest. There was a time when Ismail Sam was just dancing to some Licombo songs. A lot of them. Suiçide and stuff. And then she was just dancing.
You know how to dance?
Me, I'm very good. The problem is right now my leg.
Now you kick something in the air.
Yeah, I think I just took it. I'm the best dancer in the world.
I
took a break.
Okay, got it.
So what I'm saying is I wasn't a fan of Licombo.
Okay.
So
I don't understand Pretoria music, by the way.
That's not Pretoria.
But Limpopo, I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Because that's Paddy and that's...
Yeah. No, I understand Paddy, but it's too loud for me.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
I cannot... There's something... Maybe most of people can relate.
That's why way back it wasn't playing international.
Maybe most of hip-hop fans will understand what I'm saying.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Hip-hop people are very stereotyped.
Let me tell you something. When I got into Limpopo, I had just recorded a hip-hop song and dropped it. Ungaitivu is a hip-hop song. People don't know that.
Yes.
Ungaitivu is a hip-hop song.
Yes.
Then this is what happens. I'm in studio with my engineer there. And it's like, Yazin, the microphone is on. If you want to do something, I'm just going to go out. I'm going to come back. And I'm like, I love studio. Bro. You leave me with the studio, I'm going to record 20 songs. Trust me, I love studio. So at the time, I was motivated to try something with Licombo, So I play the Licombo beat from Chef Freezer, He sent me a lot of beats and I was like, I don't want this. But now I played first. And I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, Yabonis or static puza. I'm like, yeah. It's going according to the tempo of the Licombo. And this is a rap song that I'm singing.
Yeah.
Cause it was like rap. Yabona izolo qeda ukuphuza angithi ngibona lo kunjani angisho umfazika lo kunjani engathi baby hello kunjani ekanti wena vele uphuza. You see, this is the hip hop tempo. But now it's flowing on the Licombo beat and I record it. The engineer is not there. Then I'm sure it's gonna get even more angry with me. Quickly I send it to myself and then I share it to the people. Same day. It wasn't even mastered. The song that had to trend everywhere is not a mastered song.
Wow.
It was not even mixed. It was just a demo. But that's what went big. So I sent it just in my WhatsApp group. I got a WhatsApp group. Then I sent it there, and it became big back home. And I wasn't aware of that. I'm like, one of those songs are people, right? Because I was stressed. Like, I've been recording, bro. When are these people? I
get what you're saying. But do you think I'm being crazy when I say to you,
it's loud?
No, when you're a hip hop artist, you become. When you're a hip hop fan, you become stereotyped.
I was like that. I used to think people sing all the time their work, but then I understood when I got to that point. Like I have to make money. I have to, you can't easily. Even when I was under the record label Kalawa Jazmee, I didn't agree to do house music.
But do this is what I always have conversations with most of artists. Is it okay to go with what's relevant now, or you should stick to your authentic self from what you did from day one?
It depends on why you're doing what you're doing. Like I think, like I told you before, your intentions are more important. I felt I wanted people, I love music and I wanted to get there to the people. Like I wanted to make it. You understand? So sometimes you can be saying, I'm underground. It's cool, you understand? But now, if you see that it's not going there, quit it, and try something else. So some people do these things for other reasons. And so like maybe they want to prove a point, like I'm the dopest underground rapper, which is good. But now if the trap is doing it, do the trap.
Got you.
Whatever it's doing, do it. Understand what I'm saying? Like I told you, with Mina, they told us to do house music. I'm not gonna do that music. Imagine me, I'm a rapper, I'm a dopest rapper. Then now I realize it, like I was wrong.
You're supposed to be relevant with what's
be a musician. So there's a difference between
be versatile.
Be versatile. That's what I'm saying. But now not everyone can be versatile. Not because they don't want to. let's look at Reason. Listen, Alakaim, you know,
I know Reason.
Like I can't even spell his new name, but what I'm
He's
saying,
got a new name.
yeah, it is Alakaim or something.
Like Reason Gaga, this lady Chijila Main.
Yeah, the one that shows up on podcast. Don't talk about him badly.
No,
He's gonna show up.
No, I love him with Chijila Main, by the way.
Okay, but I'm saying like just say that, because if you don't say that, it's gonna show up on your podcast.
No, I love Reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Say that, because if you don't say that, it's gonna show up on your podcast.
It's fine. I would love him to show up. But I love him with. I don't care who says what.
No, what I'm saying, Gigi Lamayne, I love it too much.
Yeah, Mina.
I know, no. Reason, yeah. I always listen to Reason so much, and
Reason is one
I think
of my
it
favorite.
motivated me so much. Also, when I saw him doing piano, because Reason is the best rapper in SA.
Listen, Mina. As much as it's so crazy, Mina, South Africa, my favorite person, Reason or Reason. Umi, who's busy on Stogiti now. I don't know, but for me right now at the top of my head, those are the two artists that any day, when it comes to rap, like give me them any day. More especially Reason. He used to reason to me, for me.
I mean, I would say the people that I listen to too much. I think I used to love Proverb when he did Dreams. I remember when he did Dreams, bro. I don't want to. When people get married, something happens. Because when you get married, like you lost the whole thing. Oh, no, I don't know, but
yeah.
You know, remember when you dropped Dreams?
But you married. You shouldn't be saying that.
Okay, it depends who you married to. Okay, sharp. My man, what I'm saying.
Say
do you remember when
Proverb did Dreams?
Dreams, bro. Yeah. I was listening to him at the time. But we go back to Dreams now, bro. That thing was like something else. I did listen to him a lot, and then Utawishi, I met him.
Why is Duke Singanga? Guys, I keep on asking, where is Duke Singanga? Because
they don't wanna.
Dukes was one of my favorites as well.
The problem about us, we don't understand that the sound that we got in 2007, it was there in 2007. It was made to be there, and then now there's a sound that came in 2024, and now you're thinking it's the bad sound. And then all he needs to do, Dukes, is just to put his lyrics on this beat, and it's gonna kill all these artists.
Please tell me, you remember this lady? I remember. Is that Likombo?
No, that's not. That's
Quitty.
That one was fusion, because he was fusing a lot of things. Okay. She was working with Abu Heavy K,
Yes.
She was part of the company as well, the Kalawa. Yeah, she was. I love that so much. But I think that one is not because she's not doing it. I think she grew up and she understood
she ventured to other things.
Because you don't wanna fall off. You grow up.
But for me, music, guys, Sticks Mabuza, Dr. Sticks Mabuza, they still
people are scared of the new thing. Haven't you seen? There are people who can't even go to.
The late Huma Sikela. They were in the industry. Abo Busim Shlongo.
You know why?
Abo Miriam Makeba. Like
you know
they
why?
Grew up in music. I don't think, Mina, if you're a musician, there should be a certain age where you need to retire.
You can't, because that's just vocal.
Yes.
You know the problem with Exactly. Isn't Fecho? How old was Fecho when he was listening to him? He was already old when I heard his song. So like I think the problem is about us having to just look at others and like, because I didn't come up with that. Especially when the genre is South African. People don't want to come up with that. Like, I don't want to be into piano. Who came up with that? Like people are about that. Then these other artists, they can collaborate.
And most of people, I think they stereotype to go to Amapiano, it's for young folks.
No, that's not even for young folks.
But that, I think in our heads, we think that Amapiano
they stereotype it like that. Then they go to the clubs, they dance to it. The old folks, they'll be dancing to it. But they say it's for the kids.
Amapiano sounds the same, so that is why I cannot relate.
Yeah, exactly.
And my kids, the moment it goes, they know what song is that, but for me, I cannot relate. It's hard. I cannot pick Uguti. My God, like they would know before lyrics and everything. In 2 seconds, 5 seconds, they know what's long on my age. To me, they sound the same.
So I think with what you're talking about, this topic, it's about changing into another genre. It's difficult.
Yeah, you're being a hip hop.
Because it's like you, for example, being a hip hop fan, and you can't get to the compo, because the compo is taking over deep house now.
Oh, it's so loud.
The compo is becoming deep house.
It's loud. But
it's going to be soft, trust me.
Yeah. I love it.
You should listen to Shandesh. You know Shandesh?
You know.
Yeah, you should listen to her. She's very good. Her sound is gonna make you love the whole thing.
Gotcha. But kuna piano that are meaningful, like Buhle. I listen to Buhle.
Yeah.
Buhle did something with piano that I can listen to on my piano. Yeah.
The problem was the what made it popular. What made the song popular can make you think. Because remember, that's how it was made popular about I'm sure Vumbali. So
that was the piano that I used to listen to.
Yeah, you know, and then people lost it. I also missed that. So I also did a piano album.
I thought that was the piano that I loved when even. But this one,
that's the problem is the generation that we're trying to impress. You know, trust me, bro, it's crazy. Like it's very crazy. Like
the child was here. Pretty.
Yeah.
Uti, we are 2000s and we are here to stay.
We're
not going nowhere.
I would trust them. They will be here to stay, and they'll be staying because now the problem is you can't like it's hard to impress them. But when you do, you did.
Yeah.
And the problem is also. Everything is on social media now.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's true.
And TikTok has just made it easy for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I will speak for myself.
Yeah.
I think my music was made more popular by TikTok.
You know, so you were still telling me about your dream local artist and the international.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned Makadzi.
Yeah, I did mention Makadzi, and then local, of course, we've got Professor. You know, I love Professor because he doesn't that one doesn't.
Professor about 2011.
Yeah, I think I still can say it's about time. Yeah, well, it's about time. It's about time because Professor is good. Even today he still performs. You know, today he's performing. He's got a gig today. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Like he once came to my hometown. That's why I like him. He came all the way to. Yeah, we also had Big Zulu in Flapus. You know, it's a small village, but we had Big Zulu there. So like, what I'm saying is like, if I had to collaborate, because I need to check my music that I'm doing. I am a rapper. I love rap so much. My music is rap, but I had to change it because of the times.
Yeah, the time.
And also, if I had to record a hip hop song now, for it to make it needs a lot of money. You know, promoting a piano song and the compo song is very easy.
Okay, but when it comes to hip hop,
bro, you need to put money.
Do you agree with those people who says rap is dead, hip hop is dead?
It can't die.
Kwaito?
Kwaito is not dead because it's still living on this compo.
That is why, and it's still living in Umapiano.
It's living everywhere. No genre is dead. The only difference is that people don't understand, like, you know, what death means. If it's dead, let's not use their remixes.
Even jazz, jazz was the first music. Was the first music in the world.
The biggest songs,
it was jazz, and jazz people think that's
biggest songs in piano are Kwaito remixes.
True.
The biggest songs in hip hop are other hip hop remixes.
True.
Old souls remixes. So soulful music is not dead because it's remixed on this hip hop.
Even Zulu Boy.
The samples.
Was it Zulu Boy? Evusa Unomalang.
Yeah. Exactly. So currently we are all still stuck in these old genres. We're just doing it differently. You know what I'm saying? You listen. I once heard Makazi's song and I could feel Brenda on the beat. You know something? I felt this is Brenda's beat. No soulful produce, but I felt the bass line. This is Brenda's bass line.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Cause like we can't do anything without thinking. Cause our minds are still full of that old music. So it plays a huge role in our lives. Music I
love what
so everything we are recording, to be honest with you,
it will always take us back.
It always takes
even
us back.
Fashion.
You understand? For example, I told you about Tungaitivu. Of course, it's a new song to everybody who's listening, but the message is old.
Exactly.
So we still, it's still Kwaito.
I hear you.
What is Kwaito? That's the question. Is it supposed to be slow?
No.
Is it supposed to be fast? No. Oksalayo. Kwaito is us. We are the Kwaito. So if Kwaito is dead, we are dead. We should not.
I love what you're saying. So you said it's Makazi, it's Big Zulu, it's Professor.
If I had to do, like, if somebody had to say, do a collab now, I'll be like, yo, Professor Makazi, where are you?
Okay.
Because the Professor, like, what I like about him, that no, I would say dude, because Grootman is humble. Grootman is humble, and he's one of the people that took fame differently, you know. Like, I look up to those Grootmans. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that is why you see I always respected him jokes. Because, you know, that like, I did speak it in July. You know, I used to, you know, and the Grootman was there. I remember he was sitting with us the whole night.
Speaking,
you know? So my music comes from being motivated by speaking. How come is it not Kwaito?
I hear you.
The problem is people think Kwaito is spring or a kick. If you go to Fruity Loops that creates beats, you realize that there's no Kwaito, there's no Arab. It's just, the kicks are just the same.
Yeah.
Just somebody made it faster. But it doesn't take it away from Kwaito. And so now we think Kwaito, you just have to sound like Mando. Is it Kwaito Kwaito Mandoza was not the same as Kwaito Gazwa. Kwaito Gamdu sounded like, if you listen to Kwaito Gamdune, you can still do the compo with it. You can do Ngoma Shot with it. Like, he did it differently. So who said Kwaito should be? Now, who can say Likompo is not Kwaito? Just because they're singing in Venda or they're singing in other languages. Are we not the same?
Venda and Shona, it's
is
almost
it not
the same
the rainbow nation?
I hear what you're saying.
So we can't say there's Kwaito state because somebody's singing Spady.
I love what you're saying.
Listen, isn't Du wasn't singing Spady?
He was. Like a song we dip in.
Tina, the problem is we think doing Kwaito is remixing a beat like 2000 and whatever and doing it now. Nah, it's not like that.
I hear you. And then internationally, who's that one person you wish? Who are people you would wish to?
If I had to go international, I would have to go back to rap. I would be doing hip hop song.
Okay, let me guess. Let me guess.
Yeah.
J. Cole should be in
No, I'm not that deep.
Kendrick?
I'm not that deep. It's too deep. All those guys are too deep.
But I'm deep, Mina.
Yeah, you are deep.
Jay-Z?
Yeah, I would say, but I, you know, the person that I would collaborate with if I had to go would be Rick Ross. That would be collaborating.
Rick Ross?
Yeah.
Is it?
You know why?
You didn't strike me as that person.
Yeah, that's the thing with music.
Yeah.
What I listen to deeply is not what you see in my face.
Wow.
That's what I play in my car.
Because Mina, that's what I play. Mina, what I play, Mina, it's J. Cole, it's Kendrick, it's Jay-Z,
you are deep.
It's Common, it's Roy Woods,
I played,
it's Triple Extension.
Who's this guy?
It's
Peppos, you know Peppos?
Fora, Peppos. Yeah. I listen with the game, Gangane. I don't do commercial.
Exactly. I played the let me tell you something. I played the Peppos. I've played, but the problem, the guy who gave me a reason to stand up and do something was Rick Ross. All these guys who rapped about everything, which was good and nice, but they gave me punchlines and stuff. But Rick Ross was straight to the point.
Yes. For me, commercially, I listen to Drake and Chris Brown. Chris Brown is my favorite artist international.
Okay, I don't know. I listen to those, but I wouldn't say I would like. But if you say you know, I think it's because I'm motivated. It's by what he says on his music, you know, like he motivates you to come out of poverty, you know, and make. Jay-Z, they rap, yes, it's nice, but they don't tell us why we should get out. You know what I'm saying?
Can you believe it? Which is the only person I've never, two people that I've never listened to. And people, they always say, but you listen to hip hop. How come you listen to hip hop without listening to Tupac? I've never listened to Tupac. I've never listened to Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, I did listen to Notorious. That's a song.
And people believe that you need to be rooted for you to listen to hip hop through Tupac and Biggie. You
know, when I was finding myself, I think I listened to a lot of artists. Because the purpose I had, the whole project, the mixtapes, whatever I listened to, that guy was rapping, bro. This other one was talking about buildings, what. He was like too political.
Yeah.
He's also the one who sold mixtapes, made over $1 million mixtapes streetwise. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Cannibals.
But
you know Cannibals?
No.
Yeah, now that's very deep.
Who's called Cannibals?
Cannibals, I don't know. I forgot.
I'm thinking maybe it's cannibals.
Yeah, but trust me, if you Google that guy,
I'm gonna go after this. I'm gonna
I
go.
will ride some flight into your.
I'm gonna go listen to him right now.
But now that music wasn't teaching me anything specific because I can't run a flight into the president's house.
You need to resonate. When you listen to music. For me, I am the reason that I listen to hip hop. I'm into figures of speech and all that. So now. Let's talk about Sesizovala.
All right.
It's a sentiment question. I always ask this.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you 2 sentiment questions. First question is, what is it that one thing that you would want to go back? What's your original name? Cindy. What is that one thing you would want to go back to Cindy and apologize that you regret? And what is that one thing that you would go back to him as well and applaud him for?
All right, okay. I would go back to Cindy and apologize for running away from him. Because Cindy and Mr. Whitey would chase it. There's different characters. I'm leaving Cindy now. Many years later, and I had to go back to leave Cindy while I'm Mr. Whitey. That's why my character is different from the name and the fame and everything. Because I'm leaving Cindy now. I'm no longer living the second names that I gave to myself. So I think I would go back and apologize for actually not being him in many situations, situations that could have affected my family, like when I'm talking about family, I'm talking about my family, the small family that I have, my immediate family. I think at that time I was living the other life that was not Cindy. So Cindy is not an abusive person, Cindy Aximudo, but with other characters that I was building within Cindy, I was portraying different characters.
Did you ever do that? Laying your hand on a woman?
I wouldn't say I haven't done that, Yabo. Because
thank you for owning up.
It's not because I'm proud of it, but it's because I was young and stupid, Yabo, and I thought that's what men do. When a woman is wrong, and then you're gonna go up and say. It doesn't mean like but palms in palm. Today I'm scared of that. Trust me when you tell me when I just think of my family, I just go home and just lock the gate and lock the doors, and that's how I feel they should be loved. No matter how much we argue with my wife, I always remember that's my wife. I don't look at her as an enemy. But in the house, it happens when you are just filled with a lot of people around you who can't correct you. So I think at the time I had to teach myself that, you can. It's difficult to teach yourself on how to be a man, how to be a father. Yeah,
and more especially when you are surrounded by people who are not men as well.
Yeah, so I had to grow up from that. Not just grow up, but I had to apologize, not just to me, but because the most important thing is that people will always hold you from what you did even 5 years back. But if you know who you are, you know what man. It's time to actually grow up. Because when you grow up, you're not gonna lay a hand on your wife. Because she's defenseless.
You cannot claim that you love someone and then you hate them.
Because in most cases, when a guy actually lays his hand on his woman is when he's wrong. Because I remember there was a time when I used to fight for being the one who's wrong.
Reverse psychology.
So I was like, no man. I had to imagine if I had to lose them and say, I can't stand that.
Thank you,
because not because they're not gonna make you but is it shy? Your wife shy. Of course there are people that go through that because of alcohol and stuff.
And we cannot shy away to the fact that even Namato are abusive. Right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There are men that get beaten. But even to those women that beat their men, if your man is that weak to you, that means you can argue weirdly and then because I've realized we can argue with my wife. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I've learned to just read back to everything we spoke about and see if I'm wrong. if she's wrong, she's gonna come. But sometimes, fighting, man, it just brings a lot.
It drains a lot of energy.
And then I would like to clap hands to Cindy for holding up, all this long. It was difficult. It was a long run. It was tough, but he had to hold on.
Thank you.
So that one I clap hands for him because I myself I wouldn't.
And then what is it that one thing that you want to be remembered for?
Mina, I want
whether ungu JC or ungu Sindiso.
Mina, I want to be just remembered for actually being the guy who actually understood that drugs can't take you through life. Like you can't, because you're going through life, then you have to take drugs.
Have you ever been to that place?
I've never.
You said that you've never smoked.
I've never smoked drugs in my life. So I think if people have to remember me, they need to remember that even through everything he went through, he still didn't resort to crime, or wonk my haste and stuff, because how desperate. I never went through that. But no matter how.
In a nutshell, what you're saying is you want to be remembered for, in your hardship, you never opted to heinous actions, crime, drugs.
Yes.
To run away from your problems.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what people do, and then people always come back and say, I had to, because I was, you go through the streets now, people will be saying the same thing. Because my mom died and then I had to come here. So, yeah.
You said earlier, this life and people owe you nothing.
And nobody owes you anything.
Yeah.
Kumele wena usukume uzenzele and know that it's about that time.
Thank you so much. Is there anything it's very important for us to put it out there?
Put it out there. Go to Mr. White. We have a tanda bantu bake, and I'll forever be like that. And I'm going to teach you no banga one million of course of peace pendula.
Not one. Maybe multi-million, billions.
Yeah, with billions and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, but most importantly, guys, I thank you so much for the love. I thank you for being here. Even what you did right now, you might look at it as like which is no, you did me a favor also, because it's gonna get out there and people.
Thank you so much, and thanks for allowing me to get the insights of your life.
Thanks a lot.
More especially that maybe you've never shared with other people.
Yeah,
but thanks for trusting me with your emotions and all that. And word for the day. Word for the
day, guys. Don't stop following your dreams, no matter how hard it is. Push and faith, unga give up, and always hold on. Unga lastly taula, kuzolunga ngelinye ilanga. Unga itivu, unga qeda lapho.
Cela uyivale mfethu.
Wemngane naso le ndawa yenzeka izolo. Athi ngujele akothi ungayithivu, awungithi noma ungadakwa njani sifala ungayithivu le ndaba ungayithivu ungayitshela umuntu danko lapho.
Guys, go to his social platforms. As he said, he's open to bookings, he's open to learn, and he's still gonna give you more. And the significant part, he's willing to help upcoming artists. Go listen to everything that we've said. And siyabonga, guys, we wouldn't be these people that we are today if it wasn't for you. Thanks for the subscription, the likes, and the comments. And then whatever that you want to ask, he's going to have a link. Uzobona manine mibuzo.
Yes.
And then things that you want to say to him. And siyabonga ngama critics as well. Siyabonga ngama compliments. Ngama critics that comes from a good space or good place. They build us. Thank you so much. As I said, we wouldn't be these people that we are today if you were not by our side. Siyanthanda kakhulu. Unscramble Life with Slee. Ngihamba no JC. Umiste ungayithivu.
Ungayitshela umuntu.
Ningamoshi imizi yabantu. We out.